Hello everyone, welcome to section 6.2 on balancing chemical equations. Our learning objective here is to balance a chemical equation, so we'll talk about how that works. So we introduced chemical equations in section 6.1 as a way of keeping track of reactions. So as we start with reactants, we end with products. The arrow is showing what happens as time goes by. We are going to now focus on the numbers. So we have a couple kinds of numbers. We have subscripts, are the smaller numbers that are present within the formula. So a couple of examples here: the 4 in CH4, the 2 in O2, and in CO2, and the 2 in H2O. We also have coefficients as the numbers in front of the formulas. And we'll see how we keep track of this as we balance these reactions. So again, reactants on the left, products on the right. And one thing that has to be true in a chemical equation is that the number of atoms of each element is the same from reactant side to product side. They will be rearranged, but they will add up to the same amount. We are not going to gain or lose atoms in this process. So for the CH4, we have one carbon. We have one carbon over here. We have 4 hydrogens. We have 2 times 2, so coefficient times subscript, so 4 hydrogens here. We have 2 times 2, 4 oxygens over here. We have 2 of them here, and then 2 of them here. So this subscript plus this coefficient will balance our number of oxygen atoms. So the total number of atoms must be the same of each element from one side of the reaction to the other. I want to talk about a couple of hints on how to do this, and then we'll talk about, we'll go through some examples. When you're doing this, I would recommend making a table as you go that's counting atoms of reactants and products. This will help you make sure as you make changes, you're not changing something in a way that makes your previous answer incorrect. If you have something that appears to be the hardest, so the most complex looking compound in your reaction, start with that first. So do the hardest, what looks to be the hardest part first, if that is obvious. If there's an element by itself, do that last. And then one final thing I should mention, it's not on the PowerPoint, but it's basically what you do when you balance an equation, is that you can only change the coefficients, you cannot change the subscripts. If you change the subscripts, you are changing the identity of your reactants or products. So you're actually changing the statement of what happened. So you do not change your subscripts, you only change your coefficients. Let's go ahead and look at an example. So this is our first example. Go ahead, pause your recording, see if you can figure out how to do this, and then we will come back and go through it.